and welcome to Super Saturday! We are super excited. Josiah, what is wrong with you? Why are you pouting?
I don't get to go outside
Why?
because I didn't clean my room and Mom told me to.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you don't follow the rules.
Yeah, rules. Rules were made to be broken.
Whoa. That's too far. Nah, that's totally wrong.
Rules are to be safe in the house, don't get hurt, or break something.
Something that tell you what to do and not do.
A rule is something you have to follow and obey to.
A rule is basically something to keep us safe or to make sure that to make things easier for everybody or easier for the adult who's taking care of.
A rule is something that you have to follow, and if you don't follow it, then you'll get a consequence.
Okay.
A rule is something that you have to follow.
They keep you safe.
If you don't follow the rules, you will get consequences.
They're important to keep you out of trouble and know what's right from wrong so you can succeed in the future.
Keep us safe to make sure we don't get in trouble or to teach us a valuable life lesson.
Rules weren't made to be broken. They were made to keep you safe. Right. So, Super Kids, are you ready to hear an amazing Bible story that might just help you? Yeah. And hear a joke from Make You Laugh Marcus and see other Super Kids just like you. Let's get started.
Hello, Sunshine Band! Are you ready to laugh? Okay. What do you call a happy cowboy? A Jolly Rancher! See you later! Bye! Our Bible story today is the 10 Commandments. A long time ago, God was getting ready to do something big, gigantic, enormous. You know, God does a lot of big things, right? Like when He created the world in just 6 days. Like when He parted the Red Sea so the children of Israel could cross over. And of course, you didn't forget about how God fed the children of Israel with quail and manna, and He gave them water from a rock. But guess what? The people forgot about them. So God knew that the people needed rules to help them remember how important God is and to help them live the right way and make good choices. God knew that His people would be the happiest if they would obey His rules. You know, sometimes we think that rules keep us from being happy. Sometimes we think rules keep us from having fun. But really, rules are to keep us safe, rules are to give us comfort, and rules help us to live a happy life. So God told Moses to come to Him on top of a mountain. The mountain was called Mount Sinai. God has something very important that He wanted to tell him. Moses looked up at the mountain, and guess what he saw? He saw a thick cloud and smoke covering the mountain. Lightning was flashing from the cloud. Thunder was booming from it. If you saw all of that, would you go up to the mountain? Moses did. He obeyed God. He climbed to the top of the shaky mountain to meet with God. That must have been scary, but God helped him every step of the way. When he got to the top of the mountain, God gave Moses some important rules. These 10 rules were so important that God carved the rules with his own finger into a large, flat piece of rock. That's pretty amazing. Actually, that's pretty cool. God took his finger and he wrote the rules into a rock. Can you do that?
Can't do it.
So here are the 10 rules that God gave Moses to give to the children of Israel. The first commandment was, do not worship other gods. God is the only God. There is no other God. The second commandment that God gave to his children is, do not make idols. The Israelites were going to move to a country called Canaan. The people already living in Canaan and people in other parts of the world had already started making little statues. Well, they weren't this little, they were actually kind of big. But they were making statues or false gods and pretending that they were real. And they called those statues idols. God said, do not make those and do not worship them. But sometimes we do make idols out of other things. And we shouldn't do that because we might love those things more than we love God. Things like money, they love their money more than they love God. Sometimes people make idols out of their clothes. They think that that's the most important thing. They make idols out of people, out of movie stars or NBA players or singers or athletes. You have to be careful not to love any of those things, not to love any of those people more than we love God. God wants to be number one in our lives. So the third commandment, God said, do not use God's name in vain. Don't use his name in bad ways. God's name should never be used like a cuss word. When we speak God's name, we should be talking about how wonderful he is. When we use God's name, we should be using it in love. So never use God's name in vain. Never use his name in a bad way. The fourth commandment, God said, keep the Sabbath day as a holy day. What is the Sabbath day? The Sabbath day means a day of rest. This commandment means that God wants his people to rest from working and also spend special time with him, with God, worshiping him and talking to him in prayer. For most of us, we recognize the Sabbath as Sunday. The fifth commandment, honor your father and mother. Super kids, God expects you to respect your parents. He gave you your parents to love you, to care for you, to take care of you, and to help you grow up and be the kind of person that God wants you to be. So God wants you to honor and respect your mother and your father. The sixth commandment, do not murder anyone. Killing people is wrong. Why? Because God created us all. And God does not give us permission to kill or take anyone else's life. God said, do not kill. The seventh commandment, do not take someone else's husband or wife to be your husband and wife. God wants husbands and wives to be true to each other. The eighth commandment, do not steal. God doesn't want people taking things that do not belong to them. So God doesn't want you to take anything that doesn't belong to you. Do not steal. The ninth commandment, do not speak untrue words about other people. In other words, do not lie. some of you might say, do not tell stories. God says, do not lie, do not tell stories, do not tell things that are not true. God wants us to tell the truth at all times, no matter what. At times that can be hard to do, especially if you think you're going to get in trouble for telling the truth. But even if you might get in trouble, it's always best to tell the truth. Don't tell a lie and get in more trouble. And the 10th commandment, do not envy, do not covet. Do not want something that belongs to someone else. Be happy with what you have and what he has blessed you with. God wants us to be content. That's what happy means. He wants us to be content with the things we have. So God told Moses these 10 commandments and carved them on that flat piece of rock. God did that so that Moses and the Israelites could always keep them and remember them. He gave Moses many other rules as well, but those were the 10 most important rules of all.
That was an amazing Bible story. You're right. Rules weren't made to be broken, they were made to be followed. I guess I didn't follow honor thy mother and father.
Yeah. So, Super Kids, what's the hardest commandment for you to follow?
I should not steal. It's because that when other people steal stuff from other people, they just think it's bad. Lies. Because sometimes people sometimes people have trouble with lies and they just know they're gonna get in trouble and they just feel bad that they did it.
Honor thy mother and father, that your days on earth shall be longer. Because some people think parents don't know what they're talking about, even though they already lived what we're going through and they have wisdom. And it's not always relevant to listen to your parents because you think that you know something that you might not know, and that can get you in trouble.
Thou shalt not bear false witness. That's the hardest commandment because when you really want to tell the truth, but the truth will get you in trouble, you go into temptation and tell a lie, so the outcome sometimes could be good.
So, Super Kids, when it seems hard to do what God says, God gives us His superpower to follow His instructions and commandments. I think I'm going to go and clean my room.
Bye, Super Kids!